Hey there, witches, and welcome to Moonstone Witchery, the podcast where we talk about witchcraft and spirituality in a modern context. I don't know if you heard that little meow, but my little sidekick, the magical being called Zoe, is here with me, my little white cat. I am back. Happy season 7. This is super exciting for me. I have been waiting for forever to record this season. So applause, clapter, all the things. Let's get started. But first, I got to tell you, you can find me on all the places by looking for Moonstone Witchery. And I would love to see you, especially in my big giant Facebook group where we talk about cool witchy shit all the time, or in my special intimate academy space where we learn about and do witchy shit together all the time. So find me there. Okay, I want to kick off this season. I couldn't decide which topic I wanted to talk about, but Spirit yelled at me this morning in a very loving kind of way, actually, and it has directed me to today's topic. So I want to chat about the spiritual magnificence and the power of self-love. And then additionally, it's like a two-parter. If I have time, I'm going to chat about like perfectionism and what that has to do with all the things as well. So follow me as I create like an essay or like some kind of like geometry proof here for you about self-love, because I don't know about you, but self-love is one of those things that's become like so culturally saturated for me and such like a buzzword, like a magazine kind of. Does anyone read magazines anymore? I don't think if I asked my kids what's a magazine, like do we think they would know what it was? Like I don't know if they would or not. But you know what I mean? It's very much like a headline kind of like clickbait kind of term. And I hate when that happens because while I appreciate that there's like media attention and like that symbolizes like collective movement towards embracing and understanding a certain thing, I get bugged out when it becomes so present as like a word or phrase or thought that it like loses all of its meaning and no one really knows what it is. Because at this point in time, like if I say like self-love to someone, 90% of people are like thinking about bubble baths, or like self-care, self-love. It's like, yeah, like I'm going to like, I don't know, carry rose quartz and take a bath. And to me, it's like, yes, those are nice activities. I love me some rose quartz. I love me some baths. But I don't know that that's really the depth of it, So I do want to kind of get into like this thing that just gets right to the core of it. And I want to like dive in and just examine. You know me. I love to examine all the premises of all the things, because if our premise is wrong, then our conclusion will be wrong just by default. It's not our fault. That's just what's happening. Like if we make an assumption and the assumption's wrong, and then we build a whole world based on an inaccurate assumption, then the world we're creating doesn't have its foundation in something that is really resonant and true. And I want us to like strip away the translations that have happened with these really lofty concepts over time, because that as things get translated, they kind of morph or change shape a little bit. And I'm going to talk about that in a later episode, because I have cool things that I've been learning, researching, and that have been channeled to me about like Jesus. And so I want to share that later. And don't freak out. It's going to be okay. I'm looking at it in a philosophical concept, like a philosophical capacity. I mean, in order to like really understand some of those basic foundational assumptions here. Part of what I'm doing in my existence is like treasure hunting for the truth. I'm like treasure hunting for the core. I'm treasure hunting for what in the actual fuck, right? Essentially, right? Like, I'm like, I know there's answers here, and I'm going to suss them out, and I'm going to strip away the things that ain't it and find the things that are it. So self-love, right? Self-love, essentially, like, I'm a life coach. And so in the self-work, self-help industry, we are like on the button with self-love. Like, we all know about it. It's important. We talk about it constantly, and we are perpetuating the problem wherein it's talked about so much it loses any meaning, and it's just another phrase, right? Self-love means to love oneself. So, all right, cool. We're done. We can like end the podcast now, right? Super obvious. Like, yeah, we know that. Duh, whatever. What does that mean though? Like, if I was to say to you, what does it mean to love yourself? A lot of passive energy might come out. A lot of like, I have no idea might come up within you. But there's not a lot of active energy around self-love. But see, I think that love is both passive and active, right? See, a lot of us in the spirituality world sort of agree on one sort of foundational thing. And honestly, when I was in my interfaith divinity school, the thing they kept driving home was like, yeah, there's all these different religions that have all these different names, and they have all these different rituals and practices and initiation rites and celebrations and holidays and services and all the things. But at their core, when we treasure hunt for the truth, the core of all of them, truly, when you study them, is love. And that's not like hokey and corny. I mean, it is, but it's also like accurate. It's also like factual. The core of all of it is like, how can you be able to receive and express the infinite nature of like unconditional love that is offered as a foundation of this existence? And I said a foundation instead of the foundation because we are existing in a realm of duality. And I want to explore that on a future episode because duality really does mean duality. And so as much as we would love to pretend that like everything's just one thing, I think that because we live in a realm of separation, the fact that there is separation creates automatic duality. But that's a spoiler alert for a later episode. Okay, so let's back on track. Okay, so one of the foundations, one of the options is love as the core of all the things. And for me, what's abundantly clear, despite the ramble I just went on about duality, because that duality presents itself in another way, and I will spoil that one for you too right now. But what is abundantly clear to me is that people, living creatures, anything, I guess, for lack of a better word, anything that exists here as a living being, its foundational core is love. That is a universal truth. Any human that's alive, any cat that is sitting next to me and like looking out the window, any plant that is reaching for the sun, any bee that is pollinating that plant, the core of all of that is love. The duality in that one is that the core being love is internalized in each living being. That is how we are able to sustain life. That is what brings us into a state of aliveness. Love does that because love is the same energy as abundance. It is the same energy as gratitude. It is the same energy of creation, creative expression is love. So in order for us to exist, we had to exist through the vessel of, or the energy field of creative expression, through abundance, through the infinite possibility of existence. And we got loved into existence. Love is that active movement, kinetic energy that is sustaining, creating, and like holding the space of life existing. Okay? I mean, that's how come we're created through the sacred union of sex with a partner. And obviously, sex is not predicated upon love, but creation of a life has some of that, even in just a moment at times, not always, but sometimes. It comes from that unity act. Okay. And so if we're like, okay, well, all of us are fundamentally like made of love energy, that tells us two things. One, I am doing all things from a place of either love or from a place of seeking love. And two, so is everybody else. Because as we exist here in this realm, and we are in that separation that I talk about on season 6, episode 1, which is called The Morning Star. We're in that episode, or in that situation where we feel separated from love. And we may have had experiences that didn't allow us to remember that we are that love. We started seeking it somewhere else, thinking it has to be external to us. And the act of seeking love can create a lot of fear. Because outside of the shell of that infinite realm of abundance and gratitude and all the good things is the duality, the opposing side, which is scarcity, fear, lack, judgment. And so when some of that energy gets in there, it propels us to seek the antidote to that energy. So the antidote to the fearful scarcity energy is a loving, abundant energy. Love is the antidote to fear. And so most of our actions can be distilled down as to be either from love or fear, or said differently, from love to seeking love. And this does not excuse bad behavior. We can't set someone's clothes on fire and be like, sorry, I was just seeking love. But if you kind of trace that back, what's causing the enraged Scorpio to set the Gemini man's clothes on fire in the yard? What caused that was that she felt unloved and she was sick of it. And she was like, I did all of this stuff to prove that you could love me. I did all of this stuff to show you that I loved you, and you still went and acted wrong. So now I'm going to go off, right? We've all been there. I'm just kidding. Maybe we haven't all been there, but it's a relatable emotion because I am also a Scorpio. And just as full disclosure, I've never set anyone's clothes on fire. I may have thought about it, but I've never actually done it. Although I really do think the only kind of people that could incite that much rage in me would be Gemini men, just just to say. Now, on a side tangent, before you hit me up and tell me don't hate on the Geminis, I have several very good friends who are Geminis. I love Geminis as friends. But you all know Scorpios and Geminis don't belong together in any type of relationship. That's just crazy. Okay. So if we are seeking love, it's because somewhere we got this message, and it's not false. It is true and it is false. It is both. Somewhere we got this message that love exists externally to us. Well, that's true. Love does exist externally to me. Love exists externally to me right now in the form of my pretty white little cat who is letting me scratch her chin. Love exists externally to me, and that is a hard sentence to say, in the fact that I have certain people in my life who are like family to me, or that I have a magical AF wife, or I have my beautiful children, or I have sweet pets, or love exists externally to me because I have pretty flowers growing in my yard right now. So yeah, duh, love does exist externally to me. God, I need a different sentence. But it also exists internally. And this is like one of those times where I say a really obvious thing that's like not obvious because we haven't thought about it in a minute, or maybe ever. Did you know that love exists within you? Did you know that love exists within you and that it is not only there to be given to others? But sidebar on that one, did you know that the act of giving love to others creates more love within you? And yet still that is not the only reason that it exists. Love exists both within and without. It is both in us and external to us. And so when we're talking about self-love and I'm saying, hey, love is like an action word. It's got movement. It's kinetic. What I mean by that is love exists in a way that it thrives when it is being used and utilized when we're doing things with it. Love likes movement and energy and life and taking action. And so we often do this with others by trying to show them we love them or sending them thoughtful things or saying nice things to them or whatever the case may be. But then we add some stuff to it. We add some expectations to it. We add some rules around it. We sometimes withhold it in order to try to get more of it in this like convoluted mind game that happens where we're aware of duality, but we don't understand how it works. So when we are working on love, if I have a client come to me and they're like, I just want more like connection and romance in my marriage with my partner, the first thing I say to them is, well, how connected and romantic are you being in your relationship with your partner? Because sometimes we put on others this whole idea of what we need, and we completely forget that we are playing a role in our own story. Like we completely forget that we have a part in that. We completely forget that we can access the things that we think we're seeking outside of ourselves. We have access to them within ourselves at all times. But then when someone's like, well, love yourself. And it's like, but I just took a bath yesterday and I still feel the same, right? Like that's not active enough probably. If someone was to say to me like, how do I love myself? I would be like, okay, cool. Excellent question. 10,000 gold stars for you. Because I love when someone asks me a question like this. Number one, it shows they're paying attention. Number two, it shows they have a willingness. Number three, it's like, I'm going to do something. And it is so rewarding. If you have a life coach in your life that you like, love and appreciate, like do something they tell you to do, like actually do it, because it's so helpful and validating to them, but also it will actually change something within you if you actually do the thing, right? It's just fear that paralyzes us from doing things. And that's why the second half of this, if I have time, we'll touch on perfectionism. It all ties together. So active love looks like a willingness to do differently, a willingness to think differently, a willingness to feel differently, a willingness to exist differently, a willingness to take different actions. So if we are thinking about loving ourselves in a more active way, what can we do? How do we do that? Well, first of all, like think of all the things that make you yourself. Right? Like, this is a kind of morbid thing. And it's something that I sort of bring up at times to infuse a sense of perspective through a little bit of a harsh vessel. But like, when you pass away and your loved ones are creating and holding a memorial or a celebration service for you, what are the things they're going to talk about? They're going to talk about the things that made you you. They're going to be like, oh my God, she was always late and she would always text us and like be like, oh yeah, I'm getting in my car. Like 1 second, I'll be like there super soon. But meanwhile, like she was just getting out of the shower. So like it's just how she was. Or they would be like, oh my God, she had the craziest, silliest laugh and it would like fill up a room and like people would stop and look and it was just like her laugh was so wild. Or they might say like, yeah, like she always, that's another one. She was always losing her keys and she could never find them. Or she was always like forgetting her thoughts in the middle of a sentence. or whatever the case may be. They're going to talk about all these things that are like kind of small, maybe objectively speaking, but then in the absence of you, they're huge. There's these little quirks about you. There's these little moments of you. There's these little like moods that are you. And they're going to talk about them because those are the things that made you uniquely yourself. But interestingly, if you listen to that list and we like go back and like resurrect you and put you back in your body and wake you back up and whatever, and interview you about the things that you don't like about yourself, you probably would be like, oh, I'm always late. I have like the weirdest laugh. I can never find my keys. I'm always losing my train of thought. Do you see that? Like how all the things that the people who are gathered around remembering you, all the things that they shared that were these little quirky moments of like joy about you, those are the same things that you generally are like the meanest to yourself about. Ever notice this? Think of someone that you really love. Think about their weird quirks. Now imagine what it's like to actually be that person, because we know that when we love and idolize someone, we only see their good qualities. But when we are that person, we are hard on ourselves and we only see our negative qualities within ourselves, unfortunately. Now that person that you love and idolize, they don't realize what a gift they are. They don't realize that they have all these things that make them special. They might see those special things as their flaws. So if you want to learn, like, well, how do I love myself? List your weird traits, man. What's weird about you? What are you a total goofball about? Like, what is like so super cringe about you? And then be like, oh my God, I love the way I am obsessed with peacock feathers, and I will always buy anything that has peacock feathers on it because peacock feathers are awesome. And then like let yourself celebrate the thing that you love, because we also do this thing with like stuff we really like where we get like low-key embarrassed about it and we're like, oh my God, I don't want anyone to know how obsessed I am with peacock feathers. Like I remember when I got divorced. Actually, this happened before the official divorce because I was separated from my ex-husband for like 6 years before we got officially divorced. And so when I got spiritually divorced those 6 years prior and like reclaimed my freedom and like reclaimed myself, I put myself on this whole journey around the idea of like, who the actual fuck even am I now? It was a very like fancy title for this journey. It was very spiritual. Who the actual fuck am I now? Because the reason I was on that journey was like, I had been giving myself away. I had been making myself smaller. I had been diminishing myself, dimming my own light, hiding all the things. I was contorting, twisting, and like, just like, I don't know, breaking myself down for the sake of some relationship that, if I had been honest with myself, I didn't even want anyway. But in doing all those things to try to keep this other thing, I lost so many things about myself. So when it was time to be like spiritually divorced and I was like reclaiming who I am, I was like, all right, who actually am I? What do I like? And I like interviewed myself like I was going on a first date with myself. What's your favorite color? Oh my God, I don't know. Am I just like, is it actually purple or am I just like on autopilot with purple? What do you do for fun? I don't even know what fun is. I am a mom. I am like a business owner. I am like chronically exhausted. I am stressed out. What are your hobbies? See also my answer for fun. Okay, well, like what kind of food do you like? I like whatever food my kids have left over on their plates at dinner time. I guess I like grilled cheese because I liked that when I was little, and it is a bomb-ass comfort food. Okay, what about music? Like, what about music and TV shows? I really listen to like the kids' CD that they let me play in the car. And I just said CD as if like that's still a thing. Like, find me a car with a CD player and find me a person who still has their like gigantic, like biblically sized, like Flex fucking folder of CDs in their little sleeveys. Actually, I have found you that person, and that person is Audrey, my wife, because I really think she still has it. She's like keeps things for sentimental reasons like that, and I love that about her. Um, my point is like I was at a spot of either being like I don't know about the things about me or just like autopiloting my answer from like when I was like 15 cuz like I didn't know anymore. So I started with zero. Like I reset to scratch. I was like, I don't know what my favorite color is. Let me look at all the colors and I'll pick one. I don't know what kind of food I like. Let's try all the foods and I will tell you. I don't know what kind of movies I like because I had to talk myself into liking the movies that my ex-husband likes so hard that I forced myself to believe I like them, but I actually think I really do hate them, but I don't know anymore. I don't know how I want to dress because every day I am just wearing my mommy uniform of leggings and a tank top and my hair on top of my head. And no, it doesn't feel like it's in a cute way like on pictures. It feels like it's in a survival way because I just can't even figure it out. I don't know what my favorite perfume is. I've just been wearing the same thing forever. I don't know, was my real answer. So I was like, well, cool. Let's find out then. And I like did. I like took myself on dates and I like really did look at colors and say, which ones do I like? Because like my parents had opinions on certain colors. It's so dumb, but like I know my mom doesn't really like oranges and reds, so like I didn't like oranges and reds, right? Like or like, everybody thought purple was super cool, so I liked purple and I actually really do like purple. But like I'm saying to you, I hadn't with consciousness made choices. And so an active movement around like self-love is like first like exploring yourself with an inquisitive nature. How can I find out what I like and what I don't like? I can experience things. I can give myself permission to try things. I can give myself permission to be like, I don't know, but let's find out. Because isn't that way more fun, BT dubs? Like, it's a way more fun way to live, to be like, oh my God, let's go find out. Like, do I like rock climbing? I never thought that I did, but that's just because I have like ideas about who I am, but I've changed. Because the premise of this question is like, who am I now? Because we can't have been going through so much in our lives and doing self work without changing. But change begets change. Change brings about more changes. And so it's time to like update the system. You know, it's like I opened the app, I went into like my phone and I was like system. And then I was like, where's the app called me? And it was like, you require an update. And I clicked update. And in doing that, I discovered lots of things about myself. I know what colors I like. I know what music I like. I know what I like to wear. I know what my favorite foods are. I know what kind of textures I like around me in my life. I know what kind of art I like. I know what kind of sounds I like. I know what kind of smells I like. Side note on that one, my favorite smell on earth is the smell of Home Depot. You know when you walk into Home Depot or like Lowe's or whatever, and you get in there and it just smells like that like lumber section or something. That is my favorite smell. Like that is the best smell. I will die on this hill. This is the greatest smell that exists. I just want to like breathe in that smell. I will sometimes go to a Home Depot and I will come in. I will be like, oh yes, the smell. And I will be there for a few minutes and then I will like take my ass outside and I will aggressively smell the outside just so that I clear my palate and then I can go like back in and like have that experience of smelling the smell again. It is a good smell, just so you know. And this is like either this is the secret like thing that has always been within me to let me know that I'm like definitely a lesbian, because like whose favorite smell is Home Depot? That's some lesbian shit, okay? Or like it's just like a hilarious like coincidence. Okay, so making self-love active, right? Like interview yourself, take yourself out on a date, like yourself for your weird quirks, okay? But additionally, love is unconditional, and that means there's a component of compassion to it. Can you look back on the times that you were hurt or sad or scared or alone? And can you like look at yourself as if you're not yourself, but like you're someone else? Because that's how we have to like trick ourselves into seeing ourselves in our innocence. But like look at yourself and be like, oh my God, you poor baby. Your feelings are so hurt right now. And like give yourself a fucking hug. That's self-love. You know what most of us do? Most of us are like, stop crying. This is your own fault. Like, what is wrong with you? You deserve this. But could you imagine, like, could you, like, just like for a hot second, like, could you imagine, like, encountering, like, a girl, like, crying tragically on some stairs and, like, that, like, deep, like, cry where you're like, and you're, like, so sad, right? And you, like, can't even. And it's just like the world is so sad. And like, could you imagine encountering this girl in that like very relatable moment, like that space where you're like, oh my God, something horrible has happened. Like, I so feel that vibe. Like, I know that feeling. Can you imagine seeing her and walking up to her and being like, what are you crying for? Stop. You obviously deserve it. Like, would you ever, like, you would never say that to somebody that you saw in that space, that like immense vulnerability, that like intense truth. But that's how we talk to ourselves, you guys. That's like legitimately what we're doing to ourselves. It's so fucking mean. We are mean to ourselves. So like think of those moments and be like, you poor baby, you need a hug. Because I don't care if whatever you did was something that you think like is your fault and like you deserve it or whatever. I don't care about that. What I do care about is that you are having an immensely sad moment and you need a hug. Because whatever choices you made that landed you in that situation, I guarantee you didn't say to yourself, you know, it'd be fun. Let me make a series of choices that land me hysterically sobbing on a step to be potentially heckled by a stranger, right? Like you are not making choices to have that be your end result, which means that you are making choices from a place of seeking love, which is what I said in the beginning. And sometimes we make choices from a place of trying to find and connect to and create and give love. And sometimes it doesn't go that way. And that is why we are so sad on that step. We're sad because we were doing something that we thought would grant us love and access to love, and it didn't work. And all we want is that love, and it is so sad. And that deserves a hug. Think about the times when you felt sad and give yourself a freaking hug for it, because you didn't intentionally do things to create sadness in yourself or others. Most of the time, that's not what's happening. Most of the time, there's an initiation moment of all the sequences of events that take place after that moment. And that initiation moment comes from either love or seeking love all the time. And that is why we deserve compassion. And compassion is just infinite love masquerading as something else. And so if you're trying to like give yourself some active movement around learning to love yourself, you're going to have to go ahead and be nice to yourself. But I want to say something else, because this is what I really like started doing this podcast episode for. Two other things. Presumably, right, as we began the episode talking about, presumably, love is the foundation for all of us who are alive and existing and breathing and living here, right? I already talked about it. So because of that, if this plane is ruled by that loving energy, if that is the commonality that we all share, then that is the chord called oneness or collective unconsciousness or God or spirit, right? If love is that innate thing that is the foundation that we all share, because there's so many other things that we each have that are unique to us that we don't all share, but that one thing is that love in there. It goes by many names: the universe, God, source, spirit, oneness, unity, Christ consciousness, etc., etc., etc. That's the thing though, right? That's that collective thread. That's that cord that you dig in enough, and that's the treasure at the bottom that we all have that stamp stamped on us. So if that is, and I'm just going to use a word here because I think it's a more profound word because of our, honestly, I am exploiting the cultural preconditioning we have by using this word, but I don't want it to have a negative connotation. Okay. So just like replace the word with spirit or whatever if you want, but I'm going to say God. If that thread, that little stamp, that thing we all carry, we each had one similar ingredient put into us in the workshop, right? That one ingredient is love. But because it's within all of us and it's that foundation of all the things and it goes by all those different names. And by the way, there's an implication of a consciousness here, because if all the living things have this thing in it, that implies consciousness. That implies that consciousness is connected to love. Because if life is connected to love, and life is consciousness in one form or another, ergo, consciousness and love are united, which means that universal energy that is running through all of us is conscious on some level and self-aware of itself, and therefore it can be called the sacred and divine name of God or spirit, source, the universe. So if we all have that little piece of us inside of us, and it is called God, and it is made of love, then we have, that's where that sentence, like, we were created in God's image, that's what that means, by the way. It doesn't mean that God looks like every single one of us. I mean, how's that? The fact that there's like me and this cat, and we're all created in God's image, although I know it was like God created people, and well, actually they were all like misogynistic and fucked up. God created man in his image, but I think that's a translational error. But anyway, what I'm saying is, if it's created in God's image, what that meant was God's image is love. That image that we're all carrying, it's not an image. It's not like a stick figure we can draw. It's that innate inner essential vibrance of love. And so if we are all God's children, I'm getting a little weird even to myself now. If we're all created from that thing and it's love, then the love that we have within ourselves is the way that spirit is loving us. We are all out here like, I just want to be loved. I just want to be loved and accepted. I just want to have this thing. Where is it? Let me find it. Let me try to draw it out of someone else. Let me try to figure out what I need to do to get it and then be as close to that thing as possible. Oh, I have to get all A's. Oh, I have to earn like $200,000 a year. Oh, I have to drive this specific kind of car. I mean, these are all warped concepts of it. Oh, I have to look a certain way. I have to perform a certain way. I have to be polite and quiet. These are the things that I have. If I check these boxes, can I have this thing? Because it's all either love or an attempt to find love. So if that's the thing that's within us, right? Then when we have a hard time loving ourselves, we are legitimately saying like, God is out here trying to love me, and I am telling God no. Like imagine if you were like, and you're the crying girl on the steps again, right? Sorry, I keep putting you there. Like, imagine you're there and you're like, I just want to be loved. I just want to be worth it. I just want to be valuable. I just want to matter. And like this, like, angel like manifests in front of you, and it's like glorious. And for funsies, for the sake of this like visualization exercise, like you can totally do a biblically accurate angel with like all 100 of its eyes and its wings and stuff, and like that's like so effing hilarious. And I just like, if anyone knows, this is like a completely sidebar, all I want is like a painting or some artwork of like a biblically accurate angel, because I really want to hang it up in my house, and I can't find a really like one that resonates with me, and I've looked. So if you know someone or you are that artist, can you just like slide into my DMs for me, and I will like purchase this art from you. But so let's say an angel or like your spirit guides, or like, I don't know, like your grandmom or somebody like magnificent, like glittering and sparkly and spiritual. And like, this is a holy presence in front of you. And let's say that they appear before you and they are like, my child, it is going to be okay. And you're just like, but I just feel worthless and I just want love and I just can't ever seem to be good enough. And they were like, you don't have to do anything. You are that love. You are it. It's like in you. It is alive in there. It's actually what's making you alive. Like, you want that love, and we've already given it to you. Like, guess what? You're in luck. You win the prize today. You already have it. You don't have to cry anymore. It's there. We actually would never have sent you here without it. Like, we packed it in your stuff. Like, just like a really good mom who's like packing their kid for like an overnight trip, and they like put all like the secret things the kid needs in there so that the kid doesn't have to worry about it. Like, that's what Spirit did. Spirit was like, oh, and they're going to really need to know how great they are, guys. So like, I'm going to fold up love, and I'm going to just like, I'm going to put it right in the middle of them so they don't lose it. It's easy for them to find it. Like, they're always going to have it with them. Like, they literally can't misplace it. It's like the core of who they are. So like, let's make this easy on them, okay? And then like, we get here and somehow we're like, I can't find the thing. I don't know what, I lost it. Oh my God, where is it? Somebody else has it. Does somebody else have my love? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And we like never look in our bag. Like, have you ever done this? Have you ever like packed your bag for your kid, like the kid's bag, and like you've like given them all this special stuff, and then they like don't even open it, so they don't even know it's there. Then they're texting you like, Mom, where's my thing? And you're like, I literally packed it for you, right? Like, this is what I feel like is happening to Spirit all the time. They're like, oh my God, just look in there. It's there, right? And we're like, somebody has my stuff. I don't have it. I have to figure out where it is. I have to figure out how to get it. And it's like Spirit's like, oh my God, look. Like, because when we're not allowing ourselves to love ourselves, what we're doing is we're like denying access of like spiritual love. Like, we are like, it's like we're looking at Spirit who's trying to be like, I want to overflow you with how amazing you are. I want to like give you this secret to the universe. I want to like open you up to like receiving like everything you've ever needed. And like, you just have to like use this tool I already gave you. And we're just like, no, why would I do that? Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? You are that. So when you refuse to acknowledge who you are, and when you refuse to see who you are, and when you refuse to give yourself credit for who you are, and when you refuse to love yourself as this cool ass creature that you are, you're kind of saying to Spirit, like, no thanks, I'm not going to do that, which is like super rude. And I mean, I'm not like trying to shame you into it. Like, I'm not like trying to be like, don't be mean to God. Like, I'm not trying to do that. But also, I'm kind of being like, don't be mean to God though. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, it's right there. Like, you have it. And BT dubs, like, it's going to be so much more powerful if you seek the love you want from yourself, because you already are yourself. So you already have it. So like, you're not asking anyone to like give it to you, and then you have to figure out how to suck it in and like incorporate it into you. It's like already there. You just have to like do this one simple thing and like push the button and like turn it on, which makes you willing to like receive it, which means, yeah, you do have to change your mind about some stuff. Like the first thing you have to change your mind about is like, it's not already there. Because it is. I packed it, right? And then like the second thing you have to change your mind about is like that you deserve to have it. Do you ever go like, hey guys, do I like deserve my kidneys? Like, you know what I mean? Or do you ever be like, do I deserve my lungs? Like, I don't think I earned them. Like, I'm like this shitty person. Like, I cheated on an algebra test in 7th grade. Like, no. But we do this with our innate capacity to love ourselves and see ourselves as valuable and worthy as people. Like the very fact that you exist means that you are worthy of love, because everything that exists is worthy of love, because everything that exists is love. Everything that exists is worthy of respect and kindness because it is made of love. And it is like a valuable, viable source of existence. And like, because you exist, you deserve to have the things that are innately you. So like, stop telling spirit that it didn't know what it was doing. And instead be like, oh my God, like I have all this stuff within me. Maybe it's there because it's supposed to be. Maybe I've been wrong by thinking that I suck this whole time. Because maybe spirit was like, no, I'm picking to be you, because I think you're awesome and I wanted to have a life of getting to be you specifically. And maybe could you just like be happy about that and like, not like, I'm not trying to like depression shame anybody. I'm saying like, can you maybe just be like, oh my God, maybe spirit knew what it was doing when I became like alive and I existed. And maybe I deserve to like who I am. Oh my God, because I have all this love that's the foundation of who I am. So like, oh, I can like things that are made of love because they're nice. Maybe I'm nice. If I'm made of love, maybe I'm nice. Maybe I'm not this like shitty person I keep saying to myself that I am. Okay, wait. This sounds like it could be true. How do I figure it out? Okay, let me see all the places that I'm nice. Let me see all the times I've tried to be nice, but I like kind of messed it up because I didn't realize it was going to happen. Okay, let me see all the times I've learned from those experiences and I tried to be nice again and it did work. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. What do I like? Oh, I have like, oh my God, I have pretty hair like my mom or whatever. Like, start to seek out how maybe, just maybe, your existence does not imply your flawed nature. And in fact, it's the opposite. It implies that you are like this worthy, magical thing. Self-love is how we receive love, because the word self there, it kind of has a double meaning. Yeah, it's referring to like the tangible being, like who like really it does exist by your name and you think that that's who you actually are. But it also is referring to like the fact that spirit like is manifesting as itself through the vessel called you, but it's always just actually fundamentally spirit. And we just learned that fundamentally spirit is actually that infinite like love energy. So like maybe spirit didn't make a mistake by being you. And maybe if we trusted spirit's judgment, we could be like, all right, well, spirit saw something dope happening over here, so I'm going to figure out what it is. Let's just be on our own side. The way in which we love ourselves is by actively being willing to open that little bag that our moms put in there for ourselves, because that is like a portal to all the things you want. You want to feel accepted. You want to feel okay. You want to feel safe. You want to feel like yourself and like that's a good thing. You have a little portal directly back to the source of literally everything that is good. And that little portal is your willingness to like not hate yourself. It's your willingness to be like, maybe it's like nice to be alive and be me. And come on, like I am like a pessimist in certain ways. Like I'm not trying to be like, isn't it great here? Like, no, it absolutely is not great here. Okay. Like everything is like a hot mess and everything is hard and scary and stressful and sad. But we are here. So the things that are bad are the duality. They're the separation from. Please go back to the Morningstar podcast if you want to understand that, because we are being separated from the knowledge of everything being like beautiful, harmonious, etc. We're separated from it. So of course it's going to feel like shit, we're separated. We're here in this like realm. We're like, I'm not even going to go there. We're bad things. Okay. But that doesn't mean that we are bad things. We have a little access point, but we withhold it. Do you know why you withhold it? Because of ego. People think that loving themselves is an ego thing. Wrong answer. Loving yourself is the absence of ego. It's a willingness to be like, my ego is judging me as not good enough, but my ego is an asshole. My inner truth, my inner self knows that I have worth and value, and I am fundamentally a good person or trying to be one. I am fundamentally coming from a good place or trying to. And if that's the case, then I deserve to access that reminder. These angels or spirits or guides or whatever you want to call them are like, hi, you are so worthy and valuable. Please just like let yourself exist and be nice to yourself. And then watch what happens. Magical, amazing things happen when we decide that the source of our infinite love is like through a willingness to feel that about ourselves. So that's it. That's the podcast topic. Those are my thoughts for today, because I woke up in my channel about this morning, and it's just like talking to me. My channel is all about this. So I wanted to talk about it with you because I am using my podcast as a platform for my channel to share all of the important thinky thoughts we need to think so that we can feel better and feel like magical bomb-ass creatures that we are. And this is how we start to do that. All the things I talk about here are little pieces to that big, magnificent puzzle. And I have a feeling that that's like the most beautiful puzzle that could ever exist. And I really can't wait to see it, because I think it's going to be fucking awesome. So, that said, if you want to talk about stuff like this literally all the time, you have to come and join me in my academy, because I kind of made that place where I could just be like, I need to talk about all the things and practice all the things and do all the things with other people who also feel that way. So I'm going to share everything I've ever learned, and all the weird thoughts and all the self-work and all the magic in the academy. And that's what I'm doing there. It's a really cool place. If you want to get a sense or a feel for who I am and what I do, come find me in my Facebook group. I have a TikTok. It's weird. You can find me on Instagram. You can join me in my academy. You can find me here. And I am just thrilled to be back. Season 7, that's a lucky number. My goal is to be releasing an episode per week. I don't know which day of the week it will be. This week it was a Friday. Oh, and it's Friday, and that is the day of love. If you ever do want to do a love spell, or more pertinently, a self-love spell, Friday's the best day for it. It's Aphrodite's day. It's Venus's day. It is a really good day for love work. So go light yourself a candle and tell yourself you're beautiful and magnificent and awesome, and give yourself a giant hug and pick one thing. Just start with one. Okay, here's your assignment. Pick one thing that you like about yourself and let it be true, and let yourself love yourself for that one thing. Please and thank you. And I can't wait to talk to you again super soon.